friends! So today I'm going to be doing my brow routine for you guys. If you guys saw my video that I did of that like intercoastal hair and makeup that like I uploaded a couple weeks ago, I think, I did a get ready with me and I was like, I'm just gonna speed through my eyebrows because I am planning on doing a much more detailed tutorial on my eyebrows. So here is the much more detailed tutorial on my eyebrows. I personally don't think I do a whole lot to my eyebrows. I also don't really think I'm that good at them. I think it's all about getting like the original shape of your eyebrows down before filling them in, because if you're just banking on completely filling your brows in, then they tend to look like overdrawn. I just always like to go for that more like natural looking brow. I don't really color it in too much. Everyone's brow shapes are a little different. Mine even look different every single day. Sometimes I have a good brow day. Sometimes I'm like, what are those two caterpillars on my face? It also took me a pretty long time to kind of master exactly how I wanted to do my eyebrows. I've only been filling them in for about 2 or 3 years now, like consistently every day. I don't know what I was thinking before I ever filled my eyebrows in, because I literally feel like I'm naked without filling them in now. So it is such a vital step to every makeup look that I do. So you guys get the point of why I fill in my brows. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Really quickly, before I wanted to get into the video, I just wanted to mention to you guys that I am so close to 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So if you guys haven't already, it would mean the world to me if you went underneath this video and hit the subscribe button. I am literally so close, you guys. It blows my mind that I'm even as close as I am. So it would mean so much to me if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button, and also like, don't you want to see more of my videos? I'm so much fun. No more talking, let's get into my brow tutorial. Alright, so I went ahead and filled one of my brows in so that you can kind of like see the difference between my natural brow and my filled in brow. We're gonna go ahead and do this one together on camera. So I actually tweeze my own brows. Fun fact, I have never gotten my eyebrows done professionally, ever. Never had them threaded or waxed, nothing. So I've always just kind of been able to achieve the shape I want in my brows on my own, so there really is no need for me to go and get them done if I can just do them on my own. So my brows are pretty tweezed right now, but for the shape of this video, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to kind of show you what I do. Everything like in your brow arch right here, you pretty much want to get rid of. I usually like to keep a pretty straight line right here, and then everything underneath I just tweeze and all the way down, and then up here, same thing. I usually just like to keep a straight line up here, and then if I have like any extra hairs up here on top, I will get them off. Same with over here. Actually, I can get rid of some of these hairs back here. When you fill in your brows, you don't want them to go much further than your nose. So if you just draw a line, or like if you take a pencil and go straight up from your nose, you don't want your brow to go much further in than that. So if you have anything past drawing a line, anything like over here, you want to tweeze. I do have foundation on. My usual routine is to do primer and then foundation, and then I do my brows, and then I do the rest of my makeup. I like to do foundation so that there's a little bit of a base on my face and on my brows, so when I apply my brow pencil, it goes on a little bit smoother. So okay, the one product I use is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I am in the shade Taupe. It has a tiny little point on one end and it has a spoolie on the other end. This is the only product I like to use on my brows. It is the most natural, it is the smoothest, it is absolutely my favorite. I've used it forever, and I feel like everyone on YouTube feels the same way about it too, because everyone uses this brow pencil. So I'm just going to start by combing out my brows, make sure that they are tangle free. The key to your brows, in my opinion, is light strokes and patience. I like to do my brows before I do my eye makeup because it like gives my eyes a more defined shape, and it's a lot easier for me to see like how to blend shadows, and it just gives like a more finishing look to my eye before I do my eyeshadows. So that's why I do my brows first. So okay, the first thing I do is I'm going to draw a straight line from the fullest part of my brow, which is like right here, down to the end of my brow right here. So I'm just going to do very light strokes and bring it to the center, just like that. And then I can just kind of start filling in strokes right here, and we're just kind of starting to create more of a defined shape for the front of my brow. Then I'm just going to leave that alone for a second, and I'm gonna come up to the arch, and I'm going to start filling in the top of my brow, just wherever it looks like there's not as much hair. So I just make more of a defined arch on the top. Also, do not worry about making mistakes, because our last step, we're gonna go in with concealer and we're going to clean up any harsh lines and just make it look even more defined, which is my favorite step. You will see how much of a difference it makes. Oh my gosh. It helps to kind of tilt my head down a little bit too, to really be able to see where I want my arch. Light strokes, guys. I promise you, it makes all the difference in the world. If you do like heavy strokes, it will be uneven. The lighter the strokes, the better, because you can always build up. It's much harder to blend out or tone down harsher strokes. Like if you're going to draw a feather on paper with all those little hairs like on the sides, you would do the lightest strokes. All right, so now that I kind of have a little bit more of a defined arch, I'm going to take a spoolie. I keep the caps off while I do my brows because I am constantly going back and forth between sides. So I'm gonna take my spoolie and then just go over top of that to kind of blur it out a little bit and just make sure that it's all blended. I don't want any gaps, so I'm just making sure everything is filled in back here. Now for the front, I'm going to turn my brush this way and I'm going to do strokes upward, because that is the natural direction that my hair grows at the front of my brow. Usually how I like to do my brows is have like a little bit of an ombre effect. As you can see, it's like super light here, and then it gets a little bit fuller as you go toward the back. I also don't worry too much about going above the top line of my brow, because like I said, we're gonna go in with concealer at the end and clean all of that up. So that's the magic of makeup, because it's just super easy to backtrack and fix your mistakes. Again, I'm gonna take my spoolie, just kind of blend everything a little bit. Okay, and then the best step of the whole process is the concealer at the end, so the cleanup. So I'm going to take a concealer that's several shades lighter than what I would actually use for my under eye concealer. So this is my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Doesn't matter what kind of concealer you have. So maybe like if you have some like leftover winter shades, or literally if you just want to go to the drugstore and get like a $5 concealer, it literally does not even matter what kind of concealer you use for this, just has to be lighter. Anyway, I'm going to take this concealer brush, which is also from Tarte. I like this better than a flat definer brush because it is rounded at the top and it just helps me a little bit more with shaping my brows. I used to use a flat definer and then I just like this one way better. So I'm going to take a little bit at the top of this, and then I'm just going to go right underneath. Be careful though not to get any concealer like on your actual brow. It's not that big of a deal because you can just take your pencil and go back over it, but try your best to avoid getting any concealer on your brow. I always like to go past my brow too. We'll blend everything in, don't worry. Making sure that this line is as straight as possible. Again, I like to go a little bit past my brow too. And then I'm going to also go over top very lightly. I just kind of go back and forth like this as opposed to one line, because I feel like I have a little bit more control when I go back and forth like this. If you do like one straight line, it can get like a little bit crooked, so. And then I'm gonna take whatever is left on my brush off on my hand, and then I'm going to blend the rest of my concealer in. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set my brows with the Anastasia Brow Gel, and I'm going to start further down on my brow because that is where the most product is released, and then I'm going to move it to the front. I personally like the front of my brows to stick up, and then the rest I like to go back. So start in the middle and then finish it off in the front. So that is it. That is how I define my brows. I went and put makeup on, obviously because I did my intro in makeup, but you can kind of see what it looks like with a full face of makeup and just how much it helps define my face and my eyes and everything. Brows are so important, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video though. I will list the products that I use as well as all of the links to my social media if you guys are interested in seeing more of me. Everything will be in the description bar below. Also hit that subscribe button. I will love you forever. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.